Project 2025. Randy, can you believe they put that thing in writing?
Kamala Harris is tough and she wants to debate. Tiny Fingers is weak and he is afraid.
Previously agreed upon September 10th debate. He agreed to that previously. Now it appears he's backpedaling, but I'm ready. And I think the voters deserve to see the split screen that exists in this race on a debate stage, and so I'm ready. Let's go.
Will you do it on Fox? This is a unique time for America, where the fat old racist criminal is confronted by an African-American woman who has made a career of putting criminals away. Criminals like Tiny Fingers.
They get me to that position, and then their campaign says, I'm the prosecutor, and he is the convicted felon. That's their campaign. I don't think people are going to buy it.
There is no way that the American people are going to vote for a convicted criminal. They're not.
It's true, Donnie, but that's just for starters. In a street fight, experience matters, and the winner isn't always the one who punches hardest, but instead, it's the person who can take a punch. And Trump, he can't take a dump without risking a stroke. So the idea that the felon can beat the prosecutor, well, it's funny.
Kamala can't have my guns, she can't have my gasoline engine, and she sure as hell can't have my steaks and cheeseburgers.
The timing of Kamala Harris's ascent is perfect, and it has Republicans pulling out all their tricks.
Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is.
And white people are done being bullied.
She had disastrous staff turnover as vice president. I check it on the daily. Her public schedule, gentlemen, rarely has anything on it, or one or two things on it. She does not speak well. She does not work hard.
That's Kellyanne, please put me back on television, Conway, spouting pure racism, implying that Harris, a black woman, can't speak well and doesn't work hard. But let's examine that premise. Harris has the cadence of a skilled orator.
And I wanted to say a few words about our president. Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched.
The timing, the language, the audience connection, Donnie Diapers.
Discriminating against and denigrating, just denigrating white people.
Well, Trump, he's always spoken like someone who was caught in a lie. And with his decreasing cognitive skills, maybe that's why he wants to back out of the debate.
Master Lock closed down. I used to use Master Lock all the time. When I was a little child, I'd take Master Lock. I'd go and bing, lots of nice little puzzles you put them.
All right, so the second of the two debates was scheduled for September, and Trump was on board thinking it was Biden. But now, his sphincter is tighter than his fist when it's time to pay the check.
So now we have a new victim to defeat. Lion Kamala Harris, Lion, L-Y-I-N apostrophe.
He's afraid of Kamala, and now he says he'll only debate in a venue where Sean Hannity is there to hold his hand.
Mr. President, what is your reaction to that? 86% of the American people believe he is too old. Mr. President.
Aren't they cute? You see, Trump is a little boy who is way out of his league. Not only is Kamala his superior in every way one can be, as a prosecutor, she served honorably. As a VP, she was faithful. As a stepmother, she's loved. And as a woman, she fights hard for the 180 million other American women whose rights have been stolen by men like Trump.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account?
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
The fact is, she asked me a very inappropriate question. She should really be apologizing to me.
The problem with even debating Trump is his lies are so voluminous and his knowledge base so fractionally small, it takes a person skilled in brushing lies aside and digging for the truth, like a prosecutor.
He said some Democratic states allow people to execute babies after birth, an egregious lie that is illegal in every state. He said everybody, even Democrats, wanted Roe v. Wade overturned. Roe was supported by 2/3 of Americans, even more Democrats. He said every legal scholar wanted Roe overturned, abortion returned to the states. Legal scholars have told me directly this is not true. He said the U.S. currently has the biggest budget deficit ever. No, that happened under Trump in 2020. He said the U.S. currently has a record trade deficit with China. That also happened under Trump in 2018. He said Biden personally gets a lot of money from China. Zero evidence of this. He said there were no terror attacks during his presidency. In fact, there were multiple attacks. He said Biden wants to quadruple people's taxes. That is pure fiction. He said the U.S. has provided way more aid to Ukraine than Europe had. It's actually the opposite. He said the U.S. has provided about $200 billion in Ukraine aid. It's closer to $110 billion. He said 18 or 19 million people across the border under Biden. That is millions too high. He said many of these migrants are from prisons or mental institutions. His own campaign cannot corroborate this.
Donnie Diapers, who actually did this while debating Joe Biden, he can't control his bodily functions, much less organize his thoughts. And he needs Sean Hannity and his cabal of ass-kissing Fox eunuchs holding his shaking hands.
The footage does not show an insurrection or a riot in progress. Instead, it shows police escorting protesters through the building.
Kamala Harris, unlike Donnie Indictable, has faced adversity her whole life. As a woman, an African-American, and as a prosecutor in California, a state that needed someone tough and willing to push back and secure justice for victims.
Left-wing activists are pretending to be educators, teaching our kids that there are 57 genders.
That, of course, is Trump Jr., railing against teachers. But who attacks teachers? Well, MAGA Republicans apparently attacking them for being a source of information and empathy for young people in states like Florida, which has stripped the truth about our nation and replaced it with a theocratic vision of anger and hate.
Just yesterday in the state of Florida, they decided middle school students will be taught that enslaved people benefited from slavery. They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not stand for it.
Or sometimes just plain stupid.
I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
Kamala, on the other hand, a product of public education, embraces teachers and highlights their difficult but tremendously important jobs.
And as you may know, I am a proud product of public education. Many of you know that my first grade teacher, Mrs. Frances Wilson, God rest her soul, taught me and educated me and encouraged me and inspired me. And years later, when I walked across the stage to receive my law school diploma, Mrs. Frances Wilson was in the audience. Yeah.
If there is an advantage in this race between Harris and Trump, it might be that Trump has Fox and its stable of harlots carrying Trump's water and amplifying his lies. From the 2020 election to now attacking Harris, they have no bottom and will say one thing and then flip quicker than Lindsey Graham in a Fire Island flophouse.
What's it called?
You! Trump loves to call and entertain Fox and Friends with his interpretation of the Constitution.
And I think you should get a 1-year jail sentence if you do anything to desecrate the American flag. Now, people will say, oh, it's unconstitutional. Those are stupid people.
But of course, no one from Fox brought this up because that might mean that Alito and his kooky wife go to jail. The debate that should happen, the one that is scheduled for September, probably won't. And honestly, considering his declining state...
Anonymous, really anonymous. And then they announced there was no buys, no. A beautiful criminal United States.
It's probably a good idea for tiny fingers. ABC, on the other hand, will keep it straight up. They will fact-check Trump's BS and cut off his mic if he tries to interrupt Harris. And the entire nation will see how his mental acuity is somewhere between his son and a brain-sprained primate.
Donald Trump Jr.'s on cocaine.
Mark my words, Trump will only participate if it's moved to Fox News, with Trump's crowd of junior high dropouts hooting like a pack of lemurs with their nuts contracted. Kamala Harris represents all of the virtues on which this nation was founded. Virtues that reward hard work, aspirations, dreams, and a fair and open path for anyone who works their ass off. Actually, that's how the Republicans used to characterize themselves, until Trump. Now the Republican Party is poised to harm that vision in every way it can be harmed.
I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain.
But people like Kamala Harris will stand and fight and inspire a nation that has had to endure this 8-year constipation. Inspire us to fight alongside her. Trump is weak and Kamala is strong, and Kamala will win. And when that happens, we all win.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Damn right. Trust me. Shut the fuck up, Don.
Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Damn right.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.